Good morning, guys. Just want to shout out everybody that checked in on me yesterday. Everything is fine. Like I said, I won't make videos to trigger myself, but the person that I was talking to you about in the video meant a lot to me, so obviously, and I internalize things, so it's almost like I'm reliving the whole thing like I'm actually right there. It's so bizarre. Anyways, I have like completely like red. Yesterday it was completely red, so I just put vitamin E oil. But yeah, so I'm going to not trigger myself anymore. But I really did over this past week, I really did take a trip down memory lane, and it's stuff that I choose to forget. But again, we have to remember people that had an impact on our lives, and those things happen for a reason. Not necessarily for a reason, but we took notice of them to learn from them. So, all that aside, it's a better day. I'm out having my tea early Saturday morning. Birds are singing. Not as many birds. When y'all do the fireworks July 1st or July 4th, you'll notice the birds just aren't the same for a couple weeks. They get spooked. And so I won't see very many birds at my bird feeder for a while, for a couple weeks. Things go back to normal. That is why I don't like fireworks so much. They're pretty, but they really do affect the wildlife. So, my son's got to go take care of some business in the town of blah, blah, nowhere this morning. I was going to go with them. I looked up a cute little diner with a cute little name that serves a cheap breakfast. But I think my one son's going to be so grumpy, it's probably best for me to stay back. I had a little bit of family trouble. I'm not going to speak on it. God just said, here's another battle for you, and I'm going to send you out in the field because I know you're very equipped to handle this situation. And yeah, oh, there's a cardinal, a male cardinal. No, wait. Female cardinal. Male cardinal is the bright red. You think the female would be bright red. Isn't that funny? I speak of the birds and there they are. So deep breaths this morning. We're just going to calm down. We're going to trust God. We're going to be okay. Even when we don't feel like we're going to be okay, we are going to be okay. We have survivor in us. Don't think that because you didn't fight in a war, physically fight, that your ancestors and people did not, because that is why we're here, because they survived. And that is why we're here now. My grandfather's father come from Russia at a time when Stalin was in position, in ruling, and he was a very stoic man. And he then in turn passed those traits down to my grandfather, who in turn passed those traits to me, down to me, where we can't control life, that it's going to happen. We can just make our choices, make good choices, but we can't control certain things, so we have to deal with it and we have to move on. Horrible, terrible things happen, and people still had to go out and milk the cows and feed the horses every morning at the crack of dawn. So we will get through it. We will get through it. And even if you feel like you're at your breaking point, you just tell yourself, I'm here because they survived and I will survive. I'm here because they survived and I will survive. And you keep pushing. And you keep pushing. And I know that you feel like I can't push anymore. And that's when you have to seek help. You know, making yourself a cup of tea, doing some breathing exercises, doing some yoga, going for a jog, when those things stop helping, you need to seek professional help. And you may have to take some medication. You may have to take some medication for a year. You may have to take medication for the rest of your life. You may have to go and take a time out somewhere. That's okay. Perfectly fine. It's perfectly okay. And I want you to forgive yourself for those things. But I encountered a young man on the internet yesterday after my little meltdown. And I found the person for a reason, because I would not ordinarily click on those types of videos. So I was trying to report them to YouTube. YouTube needs to fix something very desperately to get him some immediate help. So, you know, there's no phone line to call or anything. Just, so anyways, I reported him 3 times. So I'm hoping to check in and see, but that just added to my down mood yesterday. Well, I wasn't down. Let's make it clear. Like I said, sometimes we have to revisit memories that affect us in a negative way for a reason. Because we're supposed to, like I said, we're supposed to remember those people. And it's just like I said, it was so vivid, but I can't go down those paths. Not right now, anyway. Not till I deal with other things, you know. And I thought to myself, I'll make a little, you know, a little book one day, and I'm going to put these stories in there. But, anyways, I'm rambling. These people are out finishing their deck here. And it's taken them so long. Not that I'm one to speak on it, but it's almost taking like a week. And I don't want to be doing this inside because my children are there. And it's not very private. It's a very big inconvenience, actually. Because, I guess I could go to a park or the beach, but anyways, yep. And this is the book, Finding Me. Can you guys see? This is Finding Me, by Michelle Knight. This is Hope by Amanda Berry and Gina DeJesus. And if you guys don't know who these 3 wonderful, beautiful women are, they are the survivors of Ariel Castro's, being kidnapped by Ariel Castro. They were, for 10 years, they were held captive in a house in Cleveland. You may remember Amanda as the girl that broke through the screen door, and the black man was out there, and she was screaming to help him, and he went viral because he's a very funny guy, and he's like, you know, saying how she's screaming for help from him. And anyways, I love reading those stories of survivors because, like I said, it just shows you that as humans, we can be resilient. And Michelle had like some learning disabilities, or has some learning disabilities. She's a big advocate for animals. And but she wrote her book separate from Amanda and Gina. And these will forever be in my collection because they are absolutely my favorite books. Amanda went on to she's actually in Cleveland. She does some sort of news segment, so she went on to become a reporter. Gina lives with her family. She was the youngest of the three, so she was, not that to say that the other two weren't affected, but she's gonna need a little more time to heal, that's all. But yeah, wonderful reads. I love on Michelle's book, it says, "A decade of darkness, a life reclaimed." It's very wonderful. She was on Dr. Phil as well. And I related a lot to Amanda Berry because it just reminded me of myself a little bit. Just like personality-wise. And yeah, it's just... Okay, hold on. Okay, so I forgot what I was saying, but anyways, you know, there is a book based on the movie. There's a couple of them. What's her name? She's a funny name. But anyways, there's a movie, but I would not, why is this guy going this way? Sorry, my sons are just leaving, but I don't know why they're going that way. But anyhow, there is a movie, but you know, everybody that's a reader will say the book, books are better than the movie. And the book, you know, is kind of, or sorry, the movie's very graphic. And here's a little piece of advice for directors and movie producers. When you're making movies, not everybody wants to see those scenes. People that get triggered, blah, 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 blah. They don't necessarily want to see the scenes in the movie that are violent, that are portraying the abuse and whatnot. So, you know, a route to take, although it won't make you as much money, but is to make these movies more about the women that survived or the men that survived or whatever. Yeah, so the movie is not for everybody. But the books, well, they're still triggering. You know, we process things differently when we're reading than when we're actually physically seeing it. But this is turning into a rant. It's just a rambling of my sorts. It's gonna take me, I slept okay, but like I said yesterday, was just so chaotic that, you know, and I had to make sure my sons got to where they're going to today, and even though they're big boys now, that they still need a little assistance. So I had to make sure, and the way my mind works now is I have to write everything down. My life is much more complicated. I have to write things down, and my organization skills aren't as good as they used to be. Not that they were ever good to begin with, but it's a little bit harder. So, but we will be okay. Got them on their way, and I may go to the beach today just to decompress and to reset my compass. And anyways, yesterday, I didn't even mention this because I'm such a negative Nancy today. My grandkids came over, and they were going to go berry picking with their other set of grandparents, but that didn't turn out. So anyways, I said, let's go in the backyard and pick some raspberries. So we did that, and then we made some tea. I have the purple cornflowers you guys may or may not have seen on my channel, echinacea, and it's, you know, growing freely. It's very expensive to buy a little tincture of echinacea, and I just planted copious amounts of it to use for myself for teas and to give away. And you can dry it upside down and store it for the winter, so you have some then. But so anyways, we made tea. I think my grandson's just a chubby little monster. I said to my son, you're going to have to work three jobs to feed that boy. He eats faster than I do. He is 2. And he had never had a tea party with Nana yet. Whereas my other little bum, my 4-year-old granddaughter, we have tea parties all the time. Since she was little, I've been giving her tea. Herbal teas, whatever. But anyways, my grandson, I was sitting there with and I thought to myself, geez, I don't spend nearly as much time with him as I did with my granddaughter. So that was our first little tea party. And then I just made us, I wasn't sure if they had lunch, so I just made us pizza bread. That was my go-to when I used to have to watch my siblings. Bread, pizza sauce, or just spaghetti sauce at that, and grated cheese. So I made us some of that. I made one for myself, and I made them 2 each. And I said, my 2-year-old grandson has finished his before I've even ate a corner of a piece of mine. I was like, oh my gosh. And my granddaughter said, he's eating faster than you, Nan. And I went, oh my gosh, like he's gonna be, that's maybe why I'm doing YouTube, or wanting to try to get into it, because I'm gonna have to contribute financially to his food budget. He is such a healthy eater, and not like, it's not like he's it's a bad thing. He's just gonna be a monster. I'm the shortest in my family, but my like other like people like before me, they were tall, and my grandfather was the runt of his family, of his like his brothers and sisters. He was the runt of the litter, but his brother was just a massive, and like I said, they're Russian. He just had a bull face, massive guy. He was just, I don't know, you ever see those people, they were bred differently. Like, I don't know, in Russia they give the babies bull's blood. He was just a massive, and he looks more like, he looks like his maternal grandfather a lot. I see it in his eyes, but he also looks like my grandfather's side of the family, like picture-wise. He looks a lot like them, so I think he's just going to be a massive, we call him the boss. I said he's probably going to grow up to be one, because he is just a massive big boy. And what was I calling him yesterday? I don't know, but he's just going to be a massive kid. My granddaughter's going to be big too, but she might be short like me, and her mom isn't very tall, and neither, so I don't know. But anyways, we did that. So I mean, my day wasn't all cloudy skies and rain. Like I said, it's okay to revisit those places sometimes. As long as you can flip yourself back from it and, turn your frown upside down into a smile. And as long as I can realize that, then it's okay. When I'm, drowning in sorrow all day, that's not a good thing. But like I said, it was a heavy, heavy week. It was a heavy week. I revisited some memories that, now when I look back at them, I go, what was going on? Like, just like, whoa, okay. It really, it's funny to me. And then my one person that knows me watched it, and she's like, that's pretty, she goes, you're saying it's scary. That's pretty, I don't remember what word she is, but she's like, she's basically saying that I'm saying it's scary, but to her it's terrifying. That's what she said, terrifying. I'm like, it's just another day in the park for me. But yeah, that's the importance. It's sometimes, though, like I said, sometimes people I'll be around and I'm like, I can't be around these people anymore. They might trigger bad memories. Or, you know, if you were using in the past or you were drinking excessively in the past, those people might just, it's not that you don't like them anymore, and you have to tell them that. You know, it's not like I don't like you anymore. It's just that I have to forget those times to be able to move on and heal myself. And that's okay. That is perfectly fine. But, I don't know, this lady who's walked her dog around 3 times around here, which is obviously fine. I've just never seen anyone do that. They usually go another route. It just reminds me of the time I lived in an apartment in the basement, and then it's like I said, strange happenings or whatever, and I'm hearing this thump, 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 thump. I'm at the back of the apartment, so my windows are facing the back of the whatever backyard. So I'm hearing thump, 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 and this is like sporadically, right? And I'm like, what is going on? So my oh my gosh, she has beautiful tan, lucky ducky. I gotta get dark. So I'm like, what's going on? So I go to my super's house, and I'm like, I don't know if there's someone in the backyard or what, but I hear this thumping. So she goes, well, I'll have my husband go out and look. So she went out, or he went out, and he's like, so-and-so is back there, and they're jogging around the building. They're trying to lose weight, so they're jogging around the building. So I'm like, no, that seems a little strange. And he's like, well, he has on black gloves and a black toque, and he's wearing black joggers and a black shirt. I'm like, well, it's summertime. He's dressed in black, and he's jogging around the apartment building. This is the most bizarre thing I've ever heard. And it was just a weird scenario. And so I just said, well, maybe he just was jogging, and maybe he was just putting on those things so he could just sweat out everything that he needs to, like a sauna suit. I don't know, but it was very strange. And then another time I heard someone banging, like what's it called, like banging on the window or whatever, banging on my window at the back. And I was, at the time I was pregnant. I was like, I don't know, 7 months pregnant, I guess. And I was like, what is going on? Like, who's out there? And this is how stupid I was. Like, you know, I'll be kind to myself. It wasn't stupid, but how I just had no regard for my own safety. I'm like, I'm going to leave the kids in the apartment, the 2 older boys, and I'm going to go outside and see what the heck is going on out there. And I'm just thinking it's someone I know and messing around or whatever. I don't know what I'm thinking. I go around the back, and there's a friggin' man there with a beer bottle. And it shocked me so much. Like, I was like, oh my God, because I don't know this guy, and it was just so creepy, right? Imagine you go back and you see some stranger pounding on your window, whatever. And so the people above in one of the apartments, they used to play cards on Friday nights or whatever. So I'm like calling up to them, because there's like there's a whole heap of guys up there. I'm like calling up to them, can you guys come out? There's some guy banging on my window. Like I said, I'm like 6 or 7 months pregnant at the time. So they're rolling 20 deep down the stairs, and they go around. They're like, get the fuck out of here, get the fuck out of here. So he never obviously came around again. And then so then my other neighbor went to the store. They had like a little store there, and he's like, this guy was harassing our friend. You have surveillance of him coming into the store, and they did. So he's like, do you know this guy? I'm like, no, I don't know him. Like, I don't know who he is. Turns out he was a drug addict, and the lady upstairs, I don't know if it was her, one of her family members was also a drug addict, and they were friends with this guy. So he had come to the building looking for her, and he had obviously had the wrong apartment. And but it was just so funny. It was like, I was kind of terrified because, like I said, he looked like a real creeper. Like, he looked like he was gonna like murder me or something, but he was creepy. And then just to think I got a whole security team upstairs at my disposal was so funny. And then the even funnier part is that now, as we have good people in our town, and they all know I'm a little bit, but they all kind of watch over me because maybe they know that I'm, you know, God takes care of babies and fools. I'm not a baby, so I must be a fool. But they're good people and they watch out for me. And the funny thing is, I was thinking about this the other day. I think of the most random things. And I'm thinking to myself, what are the chances that we lived in that building together and now we live like a block away from each other? It's like and it's like, I always have someone that has my back around me. It's very cool. Now I have my sons, although I wouldn't call them to my defense. I've always told them, don't come to my defense. You're not catching a charge for your mother. Like, God forbid. I tell them I can handle my own. I would hate to see my kids, you know, if I ever got into a dispute with someone, step in and then they get charged with something because of my stupidity. See, some mums do that. They pit people against each other and think their big sons are going to come in, and that is not the case here, my guy. Anyways, okay, those are my silly stories for the day. Kind of blase. So yeah, maybe I'll go to the beach. I got to do a deep clean. I got to get my basement ready. There's a heck of a mess, and I have to post some stuff up for sale, donate some stuff. I have like a whole thing that I couldn't do when I had only one hand. Thank God that I'm getting to use both of my hands, because I said I shouldn't be so crabby. I should be grateful that I have used my other hand now. Oh, this is going to go on all morning. But I heard my owl, so that is a good sign. Okay. I don't know if this was a rambling thing. Some people just put my voice on to listen to while they're having their morning coffee or whatever. So, my raspy sore throat voice. Okay. So, I'm okay. You are okay. We'll all be okay. Even if we're not, just tell yourself that. Convince yourself otherwise. Remember, we choose our own reality. So, you may see chaos, but you choose to stay centered, stay focused. It's going to be okay. Let all the chips fall where they may. And be proactive. Be proactive. Change what you can. But, okay, love you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.